Welcome to Tech at TV. It's a great honor to sit over here with Brad Anderson, who's the General Manager for Management and Services. And let's talk about all the things that were happening in today's keynote. Brad, so nice that you could find the time to talk to us. Can you tell me a little bit what was going on in the keynote today?
Yeah, you know, today we announced a lot in the keynote. We really do look at Tech Ed and EMEA as a place where we come out and announce a lot of the significant things that we're doing across the entire company. We made a lot of significant announcements about Windows Server 2008 R2, some of the capabilities coming there. We talked about the cross-platform capabilities that will be included in Operations Manager 2007 R2. We talked about some of the new things that we're doing with respect to online services, demoed actually doing a migration of an on-premise exchange into the cloud, and talked about how you can use those together. Talked about the release of Identity Management Server 2 release candidate and how that's going to be available. And then we talked about an upcoming release of SQL that's been codenamed Kilimanjaro, and a set of user self-service BI capabilities in it that's codenamed Gemini, and how we think that's going to revolutionize the way in which people, typical end users can use BI.
Like you said, it was quite a big keynote, and what I liked personally was you shared all those 5 topics, you also demoed those. So for the people who didn't start a demo, can you tell me a little bit, for starters, with Windows Server 2008 R2?
Yeah. That's actually, I think, one of the most exciting demos of the day, and in the fact that we were able to demo what we call live migration in the M3 build of Windows 2000 and Server 2008 R2. With live migration, we have the ability to move a VM from one piece of hardware to another with zero downtime to the end user, and it moves literally in 1 to 2 seconds. So I think it was a great demo. We actually used the Virtual Machine Manager to do that demo, and also talked about the fact that it can manage not only the Microsoft virtualization stack, but also the VMware stack, really giving that ability to manage heterogeneous, if you will, hypervisors.
Yeah, that's what we really like as well. And what I understand that besides the virtual machines and the physical machines, you can also manage the virtual workload if you combine it with Ops Manager. You had some announcements about that as well?
We did, and just to kind of reiterate the point you make, one of the unique things that we're able to do with System Center is not only can we manage your physical and your virtual, but we understand the application, so we can take actions, add capacity, take away capacity based on what the application is doing. Our competition is not able to do that. And as a part of Operations Manager, we announced and actually demoed what we call the cross-platform capabilities, or the cross-platform extensions that extend our abilities to manage past Windows to do Linux and Solaris and other non-Windows platforms. That we announced is going to be made available immediately in the Operations Manager 2007 R2 beta, and that'll be shipping early next year. So we're excited to get that out. And I think one of the really interesting things about that, Daniel, is the approach that we took to how we built it.
Yeah.
We're leveraging open source from the community. We've joined the Open Pegasus Steering Committee. We're actually taking some of the work that we did and contributing it back to the committee. So this is far from a V1 product because it's using existing, well-known, proven technology on the client, or on the managed device, let's say, and then the back end is just Operations Manager. So I'm really proud of what the team did there, and I think that they took a really unique approach to it.
Like you said, we're taking new directions, and I'm really excited about that. And another new direction that I saw in the demo was like the Exchange demo you did.
Yeah.
That was so amazing.
I think that's really exciting. There's only a couple of times in your career that you get to work on a kind of a paradigm change, and I think we're seeing one of those right now as the industry starts to think about how they're going to consume services from the cloud. And what we demoed was taking an online experience and talking about how that integrates with your on-premise. So we took an Exchange on-premise deployment, migrated that up into the cloud. It was seamless, literally a couple of clicks of the mouse. And one piece I think is just really key to point out that unifies all this is it uses the same identity store or the identity infrastructure. So Exchange uses Active Directory on your on-premise deployment, and we actually migrate part of Active Directory up into the cloud and keep that updated so that it's a seamless experience. But really at the root of what we're talking about from a Microsoft perspective when we talk about software plus services, it's about having a freedom of choice. You want to consume the software on-premise? Great. You want to use it as a service on the cloud? Yeah. Fantastic. Or you want to do a hybrid? Microsoft gives you, the customer, the ability to choose how you want to do it.
And like you said, we did something with the cloud, but we're also doing something at the back end, looking at the databases. I mean, that was also I was flabbergasted, to be honest. I've never seen that before.
And I think one of the things that the industry has struggled with for a long time is how do you unlock all of the capabilities and all the knowledge that could be gained through BI to the typical information worker. Historically we have all this mass amounts of data, but to really get inside of it and really be able to build the reports, it's taken a select set of people with some select business or some specific skills to actually build out those reports. And what we announced, first of all, there's going to be a new version of SQL come out. It's codenamed Kilimanjaro, and that'll be available in 2010. But then we announced a feature set inside of Kilimanjaro codenamed Gemini. Gemini takes BI and puts it in the hands of all of the traditional information workers using familiar tools like Excel, and really extends out the ability for the typical end user to generate BI and look for those trends and those challenges and those opportunities within the data that to date really hasn't been easy to do.
No. So that was like awesome. I think it was the first time we showed that in Europe. But you've come to Europe more often, of course. You told me like you went to Santorini and other places. Can you tell me something about that? You have a relation with Europe, don't you?
You know, I've always loved coming to Europe, and actually my wife and I love coming here. And as we had our 20th anniversary a couple of weeks ago, you know, yeah, it seems like it's gone by really fast. But when I asked my wife where she wanted to go, she said, I'd like to go spend a week in Europe. So we actually came and went on a beautiful cruise throughout the Mediterranean. We just absolutely come into Europe, and I'm happy to be here. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, you're more than welcome to come more often to Europe and
Thank you.
spend some time over here. Thank you so much, Brett.
Thank you, Daniel. All right.
Thank you.